I got beer. There's no beer in here.
All right, welcome back, everybody, with another episode on the 44 Pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co-host, Mr. Hernia, the Iceman. How we
Oh,
feeling, big dog? It's been a little minute, but we're back here, lots to unpack here. Hearn, you just came back from vacation. I just had my nieces over. A lot of football talk that's been going on with rumors and teams and players. Um, and just life in general, man. There's lots to unpack here. But let's get started with you first. You just got back from vacation.
yep.
Came from Vegas. Tell me a little bit about it, man. I know it was a business slash um like chill vibes. So let me hear it,
Yeah.
man. What's been going on?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was great. It was different in the sense that, like, every time I usually go to Vegas, well, let's just call it what it is, bro. Like, when we go to Vegas, it's time to turn up, it's trying to just kind of bullshit, party,
Pleasure,
turn
baby.
up. Um, and this one was a little bit different. Like, the first night I got there, it's like normal. Like, I went with my dad. Like, I don't want anyone to be like, oh, you got some hoes. Nah, I went with my pops, and you talking to some 45-year-olds trying to get him going. But, um, you know, it was like we had dinner or whatever, went drinking, started gambling, and this guy was hot, dude. He got going. He throws 100 in. He's pulling out seven. I was like, it's gonna be a great trip. Like, vibes were very high. The whiskey sours were going down nice and easy, and I was like, man, this is gonna be an awesome trip. And like the primary reason why I went, for like people that are wondering, um, I went to a Glazer clinic. So essentially, what that is, it's like a football coach clinic. It's like a networking thing, and then there's a bunch of presentations going on, like with different guys about different topics regarding anything you think of football wise. That's what it's about. Like, there's guys talking about defense, offense, special teams, you name it, like philosophy, strength and conditioning, like all kinds of shit you can think of. Um, that's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
what it is. So it's basically like a school kind of thing. Like, not school, but it's like I don't know. It's like you're just watching presentations basically, and then like you're networking because you get like a break in between each one, and so the whole goal is like talk to fundraising people and like people that sell equipment, and then also talking to other coaches from wherever they're from, and kind of just talking ball, which is great. Most people that know me know I love ball. Um, I eat, sleep, breathe it for the most part. And yeah, I mean, it was basically like a way for me to talk ball and not annoy like people in my life with ball. So that was really cool, like just getting to hear from different people, different philosophies and stuff like that. Um, and then yeah, I mean, like I said, the whiskey sours were coming out. My gambling was shit. I'll tell you guys straight out. Rough week. My guy Matt, shout out Mr. Google. We'll talk about him in a second too. Um, he sent me his prize picks, and I was like, you know what? That's my guy. I'm gonna ride with the prize picks. I went through. He sent me 2 tickets of 4. I bet it all in one. I said, fuck it, full
Yeah.
send. We're making this monster parlay. It was plus 14,550. I threw.
Damn.
I think I threw like $5, $10. I threw something crazy. It was gonna win me 700 and something, and we were one short. Real tough. But it was $5, so it is what it is. And
Hate
then
to see it.
yeah, you hate to see it. He told me he's like, dude, Sean Strickland money line, take it. I was like, I gotta go with my cousin. He's a Hernandez, gotta ride with him, and I was wrong again. So had to hear that one all weekend, which it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, primarily I had a good time. I got a lot out of the football stuff, which is great. And it was kind of like my last, like, I have another one I'm going to in a couple weeks. That one won't be as crazy. Just going with some of the guys from the coaching staff up and like to one. It's in NorCal, so it won't be too crazy. But after that, man, like it's gonna be full send. Like we're into the season, and fuck, man, I feel like the year. I talk to people all the time about like I think the year's flying by, and I get told no, and I'm like, I think they're tripping. I think this shit's fucking breezing by, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, any questions about the? We tried. I'll be honest with you guys. We did try to do one, um, but just like didn't work out. Like I didn't think I was gonna be available. Then I was available, and that's just kind of like really tough on Rigo because he's got his own shit going on. Um, so sorry for the last week. That one's on me. Last week was on me. But we're gonna do that a lot. We're gonna be a lot better about it. Try to get back into the swing of things. Try to get them done earlier in the week so we don't have to worry about those kind of things. But um,
Yeah.
yeah. Any questions for me about Vegas?
Yeah, man. I would say I got two. Obviously, just to keep it short, because obviously I there's a lot I can ask. One, I think
Mm-hmm.
the last time we were there together, her and you were barking up and down the streets of
Oh,
Vegas and like walking
yeah.
walking through construction, and it was a
Ah,
hell of a time. Could say
tumbling,
it was a great time. Yeah, tumbling
cartwheeling.
and humbling, cartwheeling. So obviously you didn't do that. It was business slash little pleasure. You were there with your dad, so
Yeah.
dad had you on a tight leash, low key. But overall, man, I'm just glad you had a good time. But the question I want to ask you is, what was the most important thing that you think you took back from your coach's meetings and stuff? And
Mm-hmm.
what was I want to say the most terrible thing, but what was your least favorite about the trip? Your most favorite part of the trip and your
Okay.
least favorite
Yeah,
part of the
yeah,
trip.
yeah. I would say honestly the most terrible part was going back and forth from where I was staying at to where it was at. So I was like closer to the wind side, like where I was staying at hotel wise. I stayed at the Venetian. Shout out to the Venetian. We got
Okay.
comps. Shout out to them. Um,
Hell yeah.
and where the presentation it was at the Horseshoe, which is essentially a little bit further than Caesars. It's on the if you're facing south, it's on the left side. It's at the Horseshoe, and yeah, I would say that was probably the worst part. Not because of the distance or anything like that. Like now I'm a lot more like I'm cool, like walking or whatever. Kind of like how I was the first time we went, and we'll have to tell that story one
Yeah.
day. Um, but
Yeah.
it
Good
was just
time.
more. It was more just other people, bro. Like I don't know if like anyone can relate to this, but like have you ever been to like to the mall and you're walking in the mall and like people just stop in front of you and just stand there and like just don't like they just stand there like they're not there's nothing going on, they just literally stand there and have a conversation with whoever they're with as if like they run the show. Um
Yeah.
yeah. So like I got stuck behind a lot of people like that and I was just like really it's not even like frustrating. I was just like it's like bro, like you can't pull off to the side and like do whatever you're gonna do. So that's like a big pet peeve of mine. So that's kind of like the biggest thing for me. That's kind of like, and it happened a lot. Like if it would have happened once or twice, I probably wouldn't even bring it up. But it literally happened every day. Um, so yeah, might have to put that into schools. Like we gotta learn how to walk in public. Like that's a really big one for me. Cause dude, it's like it took me 20 minutes, 25 minutes to walk from the hotels, which is fine. But it turned a 20-25 minute walk into like 30-35 minutes because I gotta like stop and walk way out of the way. You know what I mean? Like it's just like wasting my time
Yeah.
basically. And I hate wasting
I
time,
get
like
it.
whether it's my own or other people's. So that was definitely the low point. I think probably the high point was kind of I talked to the UNLV O line coach, which is cool. And I talked to the Niners O line coach, which was cool. Obviously, like it's like one of those things where like we're all like you view people as peers more than like like hey, I'm a fan or like get me on board or like it's not really like that kind of thing. It's just one of those things where like you kind of just talk shop with them and talking to those guys about how I can not improve but like how can I better teach something that I don't necessarily feel the most confident in. And then them kind of relating to me in the sense like they also had like struggles like when they first started about certain things too. Kind of made me feel like okay, like this isn't something like it's not a me problem, like it's something pretty common for a lot of guys um that go through whatever it might be. um so I thought that was pretty cool. So I definitely think that's one of the high points, like being able to talk to somebody that does it at a professional level and gets paid to just do that. um Definitely a highlight for me. So yeah.
That's good, man. That's cool. That sounds like you had a good time. Awesome that you got to talk to some Niners out there. I love my Niners, baby.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
Uh
His name's Chris Forster. He's a dope guy. Fun fact, um,
yep.
he talked about getting in trouble. He's like, yeah, a couple years ago I got in trouble. So I was like, I gotta Google it. I'm gonna get my Matty Ice on. I'm gonna be Mr. Google. I'm gonna figure it out. Fun fact, he got in trouble for sniffing cocaine on video when he's coaching with the Dolphins. So shout out to him. Uh, that's a cool underdog
Damn.
story. That's a cool story. Like most people, you do something like that, you're kind of fucked. Like you're never gonna work whatever job it is. The fact that Kyle
Damn.
is kind of willing to overlook that and make him a pretty important part, I'd say, to the team. Like that's probably one of the
Well,
most important
well,
coaching positions available on a team on any given team. So shout out to him.
Well, fun fact about that you say that he gave people second opportunities. Um, fucking was it Mike McDaniels, the one that got fired from the Dolphins? He
Yeah,
had a drinking problem, like a really
yeah,
bad one when he was on the staff with the Niners, and while I think Kyle was the OC or some shit like that, and then he helped him like figure his life out and get him sober, and then
yeah.
obviously had him on the staff for a while. So yeah, not surprising. Kyle's one of those
That's
dudes,
really
man.
cool though. Like there's a lot of people that would be really afraid to even to even want you to be like as a low level kind of guy. So the fact that I mean, when he got hired back with Kyle, like it wasn't like, oh, hey, you're the guy, you're the OC. Like, he did have to work his way up, but the fact that he overcame his own struggles and the fact he had someone willing to take a chance on him was really cool. Um,
Yeah,
Now speaking,
100%.
I did say Mr. Google, and I did say we're gonna talk about him. I just want to give him a shout out to Mr. Google. He dropped on one knee this past weekend, um, and he proposed to his girl. So shout out to them, and
Yeah.
you know that's another bachelor party we got to add to. And I mean, man, this might be the summer of bachelor parties. We might be getting a little too crazy with all the boys. So,
Yeah,
uh,
man. We
but yeah,
fucking only been asking Matt for like, I mean, since he had Rylan, so
yeah,
um I'm like,
yeah,
hey man, like you're having kids before you get married, but we kept giving him shit about proposing, so I guess he finally did it this past weekend. Um yeah, so shout out to Matty Ice, man. Fucking
yeah,
locking it down for her. I'm sure Sam is ecstatic and she can finally tell all her Instagram friends and family members, hey, he finally did it. So I'm sure can rub that little shoulder there for himself and be like, all right, that's one less thing I gotta have to keep hearing from his baby mamas. But yeah, good for him.
yeah. Shout out. And then obviously the last pod we talked about, you had some really high prestigious guests over that were going to be over for the this
Yep,
past week. Talk about
yep,
that, man.
yep.
How was that?
Dude, my nieces. I mean, I think the last time I think it had been 8 or 9 months since the last time I seen them until this past weekend. Yeah, man, it was really awesome to see them. We took them out quite a bit. They do eat a lot. They're growing really fucking fast and getting tall as fuck. Um, but I think the overall it was just really nice to finally like hang out with family members, especially
Yeah,
being around my nieces. They're like kids to me. So, um, man, Casey, my oldest niece, she's a freshman in high school. My
shout out.
youngest niece, well, not the youngest one, but her sister, she's in
Yeah,
seventh grade now. So just
shout
hearing
out.
that, man, from holding them as little babies and now it's like, dude, like she's gonna graduate high school in like fucking 3 years. She'll be on her own.
Yeah.
She's getting her driver's permit next year. Like, dude, they grow up so fucking fast, man. So
God damn. Time's flying, boy.
yeah, yeah, just chatting it up with them. Her telling me about her boyfriend and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, man, it was a good time. My wife definitely loved babysitting there because unfortunately I was still working, but I was getting
That's
as soon as
tough.
I was able to get off work, I would come home and stuff like that to hang out with them. But it wasn't too bad. My work
Okay.
schedule wasn't unbearable, so I
Yeah,
did get to spend a lot of time with them. So that was really fucking
that's
cool.
awesome. And I guess yeah, my question would be, what was the highlight day that you had with them while they? I mean,
Oh,
obviously every
dropping
day
him
was
off at the
probably great.
airport, taking him to the airport.
You're just about spent, huh?
No, I love my nieces, man. I think
Yeah,
the highlight part was fuck, man, probably taking ice skating on the lake. There's a lake by my house. Um, where it was frozen over, so you're able to go take them
yeah,
ice skating and shit. So, we
that's
took
awesome.
them. Dude, these girls are so uncoordinated, dude. Like it's terrible. So, I had to like watch out for my fucking toes and shit, so they didn't run me over. But it was a good time. And
That's
then,
awesome.
yeah, I think the my least favorite part is that they ate all my food.
Yeah,
These
that's
girls can fucking eat,
as
man.
as we mentioned before. Rigo is a big food guy, so I can only imagine at his own house what the inventory's like, and I'm sure there's probably a pretty decent dent put into it. So,
Yeah,
um,
man. Ate
but
all
yeah,
my
that's
nuggies.
awesome. Shout out to the nieces coming down to see
Yeah.
him. And I feel like for you, like that was probably really big. Like he mentioned, like it's been a long time since he's been around his family. Like Rigo, you know, knowing him, like obviously like when we were a lot younger, like Rigo's very much a family oriented guy. So for him to be without them for obviously a long time, I'm sure this is probably felt pretty overdue for you to just spend any quality time with anybody from the family. So let alone your nieces. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's great. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear that it was a
Yeah,
great
man.
trip for
It's a
everybody.
good time.
Um,
100%, man. Now I'm ready for the bachelor trip.
yeah, yeah, we got a lot of coordinating that we got to do for all these trips, man. I don't know how we're gonna all do. Well, let me rephrase. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but um, yeah, it's gonna be crazy wild 2026, man. And we're just getting started. We're only in February. We got a lot of months left, so who knows what's gonna happen next. But moving on. Um, this week is the NFL scouting combine. And obviously, this is pretty much the last time we're going to hear from most of our teams before the start of the new year, start of free agency, seeing some trades actually happen. Um, I guess before we get into obviously our specific teams, I guess my question to you is what team in the NFL needs to have a successful free agency period? Um, Obviously, the answer most people say is like, oh, all of them. But I was to add on to that is which team needs to have the best offseason um, that was a playoff team. So which playoff team needs to have the best offseason to hopefully repeat and then hopefully go to the Super Bowl, in your opinion?
Damn.
Obviously, the Niners would probably be his
Playoff
number one
team.
choice, but I'd like to hear a
Yeah, I'm
different
not gonna
team
put them
besides
in
them.
there.
Okay. And if you want, I'll
Oh,
go
fuck.
first. But um,
Nah, I mean, I have a team in mind, and I would say Seattle, the Super Bowl team.
that's who I also agree. I think because of, and I'll give a different team, but just to like tag on to probably why um the MVP of the Super Bowl is a free agent, so that's a pretty significant
Yeah.
piece to their whole formula. Um, and probably another reason, and I'll let Rigo talk, but I think another reason too is they just lost their offensive coordinator, who to me was a pretty important part of why it was a success this season. So how are they going to help their new OC, who's a former Niner coach? How are they going to help him? How are they going to give him more tools and more players to kind of help him get his footing in terms of being a first time OC, and hopefully repeating as Super Bowl champs? Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a great choice.
Yeah, I mean, I only choose then, like again, I mean, you hit like really strong points. Is like they're losing the OC, and I think 99% of their success was because of him. I think I kind of said it, I think a pod ago or two pods ago,
Hmm.
how their offense around Sam Darnold is pretty much structured around the way that Shanahan structured the offense around Brock Purdy. Clint Kubiak, obviously, the Kubiaks and the Shanahans obviously go back really, really a long time ago and earlier in Shanahan's success from the Washington. So like literally, if you look at the way Seattle was running their offense and the way the Niners ran their offense in since Jimmy G, I would say it's pretty much the same thing. Obviously, different organization,
Yeah.
different quarterback, but it's literally almost a spinning thing because like they're not asking Sam Darnold to throw the ball past like 30, 40 yards. It's like, the fucking within 10 yards, 15 yards. And when he does throw it, it's like he's hitting them. So, I mean, same thing the way Shanahan has Brock Purdy doing it, stuff like that. So, I think for me, I chose them just because they're losing a lot of fucking players on their team. And in order for them to be successful in a repeat, and also why I said they're not gonna repeat is because they lost their OC, they're losing a lot of guys in free agency, and I just don't think Sam Darnold is the type of guy it's going to sound stupid, but to carry a franchise, you literally, it's like the way I look at Sam Darnold and the Niners, what they do with Brock Purdy, it's kind of the same thing. Like, Brock Purdy's kind of proven himself in a few games, um, but I would say hasn't been consistent with it. But Sam Darnold, you take JSN out, you take Kenneth Walker out, is he going to win ball games for you? I don't think so. I think you're going to try to find your defense to win that game for you. And that's why I think Sam Darnold won't succeed. I think it wasn't a fluke year, but I think it was one of those years where any team really could have won that game, like if they played a really good team. I think the Rams should have won that game against them, but whatever, you win and you lose.
Hmm.
Um, but I think Sam Darnold's definitely going to struggle next year. People are going to be like, "There's no fucking way." Um, Absolutely. I mean, they took I think it was somebody from the Niners. What the fuck was this? What was this? I think the tight ends
Yeah.
coach from the Niners,
Yep.
as an OC. He's never been an OC or whatever or anything
I
like
like the
that.
hire, by the way.
Um,
I really do like the hire, but
yeah, it's cool, but again, it brings me back to the point of, hey, you're just trying to get more familiar faces from Sam Darnold with
hmm
Niner guys when he was there.
yeah.
So it's like they're trying to, obviously it's smart and not smart because you're just trying to build it around Sam Darnold. It's smart the fact like, hey, you're trying to get your quarterback to be comfortable to do things, but again, Sam Darnold's losing a lot of guys, and teams that played them this year already kind of know how their offense is going to be ran in the sense of like, hey, this guy's not going to throw it fucking 40 times, 30 times downfield. He's going to
hmm
run the ball. And if you lose Kenneth Walker, it's going to be really quite hard. That's why I think they need to hit. I think it's kind of dumb to let him go, but also kind of smart because Kenneth Walker is injury prone. Their backup running back was hurt, Charbonnet. I think he tore his ACL.
hmm
So if I was them, um, you got to hit in the draft, or you
Yep.
get a really premier player and a running back from like a Brees Hall or something like that, or Achan. I think Achan would
Yeah.
do really good. But again, people are just going to call him stupid because it's like, why not sign Kenneth Walker back? He was MVP. But hey, man. So that's my team. I kind of went on a little spiel there.
Oh
But who
yeah,
do you
that's
have?
awesome. Yeah, I think that would have been one of my choices was the Seattle, the Seahawks. Just because as a team that's coming off of a Super Bowl, and a team like them where they have a lot of guys that were expiring or they're kind of on the older side compared to like a team like the Patriots who they played. There's just a little bit more uncertainty in the immediate future. Um, I was thinking I think there is a pretty obvious team um, that needs to nail free agency. Um, I'm gonna mention them. It's not gonna be my pick, but the Bills. I think the Bills. It's pretty obvious they need to hit. Just given the circumstance with Josh Allen and everything like that. Um, God, the team that I think needs to nail it in order for them to get back to the Super Bowl is I'm gonna say the Chargers, man. Like I really think like, and maybe it's my Harbaugh bias kicking in, but I really feel like they really need to figure out some things on the defensive side of the ball. And they also need to figure out a way to get Justin Herbert a superstar on the outside. Um, whether it's through a trade or or like, I'm not gonna say Tyreek Hill, but a guy like that. Um, they got to. I think they're really close. Like if you told me, hey, next year like they're gonna win the division, I'd believe you because I really believe like they really have all the pieces to do it. I'm not necessarily sold on Herbert as like a franchise quarterback, in the sense of he can carry a bunch of
It's
average
my biggest
players
question
to
mark about that team.
he can carry a bunch of average guys to the Super Bowl, because he hasn't. He's had plenty of time to do that, and it hasn't happened yet. But I just feel like if you can get him another piece on offense, and then just really keep building up the defense through free agency and the draft, I think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna be a really hard team to turn away. They got hurt with a lot of running backs last year, so obviously that's gonna be a big position of need. And like you mentioned, Brees Hall and a couple other guys that are available. Even Kenneth Walker. Like if you put Kenneth Walker on that team, even though he is a little injury prone, you do have Hampton. Like I really think that'd be a great 1-2 punch. Um, and makes him really dynamic with Mike McDaniel, who's had a uh, he's had a reputation of building really strong running games. Um, and I mean, Harbaugh's there for the quarterback, so I think that position will be fine. Um, but yeah, I think that's my pick. I know it's kind of a hot take pick because it's kind of an obvious one too. But I just don't want to pick the Bills. I feel like the Bills, like it's pretty obvious what they need to do. Step one was get rid of the head coach that they had. They did that. And step two is, put some actual weapons around Josh Allen and see what happens. But yeah. Any thoughts on either of those teams? I guess.
Um, Yeah, I guess I would have to disagree with you on the fact that like about the Chargers and stuff. I think the biggest question mark for me, well, if I was to look at them as an overall, like I would say they are an okay team. I don't think they have even the potential to be a great team. I don't even think they win more than two playoff games with their roster. Just based off the fact that like Justin Herbert is yet to even prove himself. Also, I don't think he is a franchise guy where it's like you can sign him to a big, large, long-term contract because I just don't trust him. He hasn't proven anything. Um, but again, it goes back to like what you said. I believe in Jim Harbaugh. I love everything that he does for the team, and he can rally players. But that can only do so much when you're relying on a quarterback that's yet to prove himself, and yet you don't have a great team overall. Like if you look at that offense, that offense is like it has a bunch of unproven guys, I would say. And then on defense, your defense is probably stronger than your offense by a little, by a small margin. And their offense is not even that great. Like I think it's out of all the 32 teams in the NFL, I think their offense is like 28th, in my opinion. Um, and Justin Herbert hurts that team. But like you said, like if you give Justin Herbert a wide receiver that can, that's good. Um, I don't like that idea either. Because I mean, if you can't win with the guys that you have now, and then you just add a wide receiver or whatever, who's to say that dude doesn't get hurt in the season? And then what the fuck are you gonna do? Um, but yeah, so I just don't like the Chargers at all. I think they're awful. Um, and for the Bills, I think the Bills have bought Josh Allen 3 more years in with the Bills in the sense that like, hey, you fired the coach and Sean McDermott because you guys couldn't obviously win the championship, right? And Josh Allen, you're gonna get a new head coach. And if you still can't win with this guy, yeah, people are gonna blame that new head coach. But honestly, I would blame Josh Allen. If Josh Allen can't win within these next 2 seasons, I think he's out as the quarterback in there. The same thing with Joe Burrow. Um, but I'm not gonna go with the Bengals. I'm just gonna keep it on the Bills. Um, so yeah, I believe that the Bills need to hit, but if they don't, And I mean, the Bills are one of those teams that need, like you said, they need one player to change it, like give Josh Allen a wide receiver. But I mean, when he had Stephon Diggs, like he was the same guy. Um, so as much as I want to believe in the Bills Mafia, I just don't see them being that team um, to ever get it, and I just don't think Josh Allen is going to be able to. So for both those teams, I think they're both ass. Yeah, that's all I got. People are gonna call me fucking crazy, but we'll look at it next season and be like, "Holy shit, Josh Allen's gonna be really great in the regular season, throw some crazy numbers up, and then it come playoff time, it's like, oh, dude, what the fuck happened? Hey, man, next year, dude, it'll be next year."
Yeah, I just no, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's a fair opinion for both teams. I'm not really like to me like I feel like a lot of these teams are kind of in the same window, so that's why I was just like, throw two AFC teams out just to be a little different. Because I feel like the Patriots, like
Yeah.
I just feel like the Patriots, it was pretty obvious. Like I thought they were a young team. Like I don't really think they need to add a whole lot. Because they did that this past offseason. It's more about just depth and then just staying healthy. And just can kind of just keep developing the guys you already have. So I didn't feel like they were a team. The Broncos, I kind of feel the same way. I think they're kind of offensively. I think they're in the Chargers mold. Like they had a lot of injuries. Obviously, they had a pretty big one right before the end of the season. Um, and obviously, defensively, they're probably a top five unit. So there's not a whole lot for them to kind of nail on. So I thought it was pretty tough. Like I think the Niners, they're kind of in the same boat. Like it's more health than it is like they need to acquire a bunch of guys, and we'll talk about them in a second. Um, but yeah, and then I guess talking about non-playoff teams, who's a non-playoff team? So a team that didn't make it last year. Who's a team that they don't necessarily have to nail the offseason, but who's a team that you think could make a playoff appearance next year? Just gun to your head. Like obviously we don't know any moves that are going to be made yet.
You didn't even have to say much. I
But
already had a team. I had a team right off the
let's
rip.
hear it.
Uh, I wouldn't say like they necessarily have to hit the drop. I think they fucking need, like, it's like a make or break um
Sure.
team that they needs to hit. And for that, for me, it's the Commanders. I
Mhm.
did say it earlier in the season that the Commanders just an old team that needs to get young quick. And in order for Jaden Daniels to have success, I think they need to do him right by getting younger around him, build the offensive line, get him new wide receivers. That defense needs to get younger. Bobby Wagner's way past his fucking due date. He needs to just let it go. Um, but yeah, I think that's one team that just needs to fucking hit on the draft. Amongst a lot of other teams that I have, but I think for me it's the Commanders number one because I do like Jaden Daniels a lot. I like what he was able to do his rookie year,
Mhm.
do some crazy shit like Caleb Williams was able to do this year.
Yeah.
So seeing those guys flourish with a lot of weapons around them and when they're playing 100%, the league is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the team I have.
Great. That's a great one.
What about you?
Um, I'm not going to say the obvious team. I think the obvious team with that question is probably like the Chiefs. I think it's pretty clear what they need to do. So I'm not going to really touch on that. Um, God, as much as I'd love to say like the Raiders just to troll, I'm not.
I'd
God,
say the Steelers.
I was thinking them too, but they actually did make the playoffs though. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, man. Like I really think like obviously they've already made two big free agency moves. The first one was tagging George Pickens, and they're probably gonna sign him, I would assume, to some type of long term deal or trade him. And obviously with the assets they get from that, that'll be pretty big. But um, Jesus Christ. Whew. And then obviously they signed Javonte Williams the other day, 3 year. I think it was like a 3 year deal for 23 million, I think. So they're already kind of starting to make moves, and it's really just with their own guys. I just think for them, man, if they can nail the draft defensively or free agent wise, I don't see how they're not a playoff team. I don't know how they don't win the East next year, even with the other three teams. Like, I really think the Eagles are on a downswing. I don't see them bouncing back. The Commanders, I think there's a lot of holes to fill. Um, in
Yep.
1 year. And I just think the Giants are probably a year away, no matter what. Like even if they nail it, I just think they're a year away, even with Harbaugh. Because it's going to be a year of Harbaugh getting what he wants and basically waiting until the Giants decide to fire the GM. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, man. I know it's as a Raider fan, I probably I shouldn't be rooting for them to be successful, but I just think the NFL is so much better when the Cowboys think they're gonna make it and then they're in the playoffs and then they get fucking bounced round one. I love it. I think it's one of the greatest traditions in the NFL. Rooting for the Cowboys to lose round one immediately. I think it's awesome for the sport. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, man.
Yeah, I like that, man. I actually that was a team that I didn't think about.
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, it was. I'm gonna just rank it real quick.
yeah, let's
A
do it.
team winning that division, I do think the Cowboys are. I think I got the Cowboys number one, and then I
Yeah,
got the Commanders number two, Eagles number
yep,
three,
yep.
and the fourth would be what was the other team? God damn it,
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I agree. If we were ranking that division today, I'm fucking lockstep with you. I don't even think it's close. I really think.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck. I can't wait. We have so all summer to talk about Jalen Hurts and all these guys. We might have to do a pod about each division, and we'll have to talk about that offline. But,
yeah.
um, yeah, I think that's like. I just think it's the Cowboys division to lose. And it kind of feels like they're kind of due, to be honest. Not necessarily like in terms of Super Bowl, but I feel like Jerry's kind of on his last legs. So I feel like they're kind of due to have a little tiny bit of success. And I heard today they're changing to a 3-4 defense. And based on all the trades they made this last year's offseason, man, are they fucking equipped to do that? And if they can add a couple pieces in free agency in the draft, they're going to be fucking really scary on defense, along with the offense who can
Yeah,
score.
I think so. Like, okay, so you know how you said, all right, we're gonna keep it on the Cowboys a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like you said, like the Chargers are like you feel like the Chargers are pretty much a complete team, especially with the head coach, right? Like, overall, that's what you believe. That's how I feel about the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are one of those teams that are a complete team. They just need a head coach and an OC that's competent enough to take them over the hump. With the I wouldn't even say a great DC, just a good enough DC to do what he needs to do to stop them on like a few three and outs. And I'm not saying like, hey, three and outs the whole entire way because that's almost
Yeah.
impossible. Um, just a few stops, just for the
Mhm.
offense to win. I think that team is literally a coach away from just taking that team. Just because I love the way Dak Prescott plays. I think that Dak Prescott is one of those quarterbacks that everyone had question marks about him in the beginning of his couple years with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's figured himself out as QB. He's got the wider receivers and CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. He's got his tight ends.
Yep.
His O line is good enough to protect him. Um, yeah, I just think they got the weapons, and like you said, Jerry Jones made a quite a bit of not accusations. Um, how do you even say it? I'm not even gonna try. Got enough
Acquisitions.
guys on deep
Yeah.
acquisitions. There you go. Can't
Yeah.
talk today on defense to prove themselves. And I
Yeah.
even thought this past year that I thought they were gonna actually go to the playoffs. Just the way Dak Prescott was playing, I think he was playing at an MVP level.
Yep.
Um, and it was just again that's just a team for me that as much as I hate them, but
Yeah.
I don't really care for them because we win every year we beat them. Um, just hey, they're just a coach away, man. I just think they need that one OC to take them over the hump.
Yeah. I think that's totally fair. Like I said, we're gonna have all off season to talk, and obviously, we'll probably have to have an emergency pod. I would assume. When the free agency start or when the league starts. Because I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of breaking news. So, just keep your ears peeled for that. Once we get going, I think we got 2 weeks. So, probably
I
within the next
think
couple weeks.
you know what though,
Go ahead.
yo, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think when the day free agency hits, like right on the marker, what I think is we need to go live, like an actual live pod, like where it's like on for a few hours where we're just waiting for acquisitions to happen because we know it's gonna happen. There's teams already spoken with one another. They're waiting for right when it opens the new year to either drop players, acquire players, and all this sort of stuff. So I think the 44 pod needs to do its first live pod
I
where
bet.
I think anybody can get on, talk, comment, whatever the fuck, and it's live for at least a good 5 hours. And we're just straight talking ball, waiting for these. Hopefully, it's entertaining in the fact that like these teams happen to do something like I would say entertaining, like they trade Nick Bosa, sort of stuff like that. Like that would be just crazy, right? Or Max Crosby goes with the Bears or some shit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think the 44 pod is definitely needs to go live, and hopefully we can get a lot of people get on there too and speak their mind. But we'll see. We'll see how work
Yeah,
schedule and everything works out.
we'll have to
But
logistically we'll have to figure out how we're going to be able to do that. But yeah. Um so yeah, there you go. That's exclusive breaking news on this pod specifically that we will probably have some type of live show or format, or just a way for everyone to easily access that specific episode. Um, yeah, I mean, let's get into what the people really care about. I know there's a lot of Niner fans that follow us, and quite frankly, I get really entertained when you talk about your Niners because number one, I think it's one of the most entertaining things any human being can do is talk about something they're passionate about. And number two, I love when the Niners are successful because the downfall eventually will be that much better, but we're not quite there yet. And obviously, the first big thing I'm going to talk about with you regarding your Niners, and don't worry, people. We'll talk about my Raiders. We'll talk about Crosby. We'll talk about all that good stuff. But the first big thing I want to talk to you about, and I sent it to our group yesterday or 2 days ago, was the Trent Williams stuff. Just kind of your opinion about what John Lynch said about how they're not really in the same conversation when it comes to his new contract. And obviously, we're talking about I think he's going to be 39 years old, a 39-year-old offensive tackle who's still, he's not quite the same athlete he was when you guys first got him, but man, is he a really good football player still. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Trent Williams?
um, this one was kind of like a head scratch, just because I'm like, fuck, like we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't, in the sense that
Mhm.
like, okay, hypothetically, right? I think because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, Trent Williams wants a new contract, but he wants guaranteed money from the contract, right?
Hmm.
Which the Niners are obviously from the Niners perspective, John Lynch is like, hey, we're not willing to give you guaranteed money. You're fucking 38, about to be 39, close to 40. Um, and you were hurt. You've been hurt for the past couple seasons. You missed a few games. He missed a crucial, I think, week 16, 17, or something like that, like where we kind of really needed him. Um, and stuff like that, right? So I think in that aspect, it's like it's kind of hard to give a guy like that guaranteed money. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, this guy is still, I think, a top five, even like seven in a top 10 offensive lineman that, he would be good on any team, consistent in the fact that like, hey, you kind of don't really got to worry about that side of the line because he can kind of hold his own. So that's why I say the Niners are damned if they do and they damned if they don't. You let him go, your O line just gets worse. It wasn't the Niners' offensive line is not even good to begin with. It's decent, but letting him go, it just gets worse, right? And then now you got to look for another guy that can replace him, which is going to be really fucking hard to do. Um, but if you do sign him, I just don't want the Niners to overpay for a 38-year-old offensive lineman that's already on the decline. And he's like an injury away from, missing 8, 9 games. And it's like, okay, like now we just fucked ourselves. As the Niners have injury history. So if the Niners can sign him back for like I would say a 3 year, 30 million non-guaranteed contract or something in that sense. Nothing crazy. Obviously, I'm just throwing numbers out here, but just something where it's like the Niners can kind of save themselves from the injury aspect and stuff like that. Then I'd be happy with it. But if the Niners are going to straight up give him like guaranteed money, um, I just don't see why that would be like I would be more upset. And it just wouldn't make sense for the Niners. So um I think the Niners do end up re-signing him. I don't think Kyle would let him go. Just because they have history, and I just don't think Kyle's dumb enough to let that happen. But I do think he's dumb enough to overpay, and that's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, that's perfect. That was going to be my next question about that was where do you think he ultimately ends up? So, yeah, I'm kind of as someone that's on the outside looking in, I think I sent when I sent for context, I think it was a clip of John Lynch talking about it or someone else tweeting about it. And I told Rigo, you know, translation. Obviously, I don't know any specifics at all, but basically, my translation was the Niners basically told Trent Williams, his camp is like, hey, like let us kind of figure out what we want to do free agency wise, and then we'll come back to the table and see if we can get that number closer to what you're looking for. For context, I believe he's on a 1 year. God, I think it's like 38 million. I think it's like one. It's like I think it's about every. I think it's for how old he is. That's how much money he's getting this year. And I'm kind of with you, man. Like it was pretty evident last year. Like he was starting to fall off before the injury, and then he got hurt. Um, and I just don't know if you're the Niners. Like I don't know if you can keep giving this guy money, and he's not going to be there for 17 games at 100%. Um, Now the contract you threw out is fucking crazy. I don't think that'll happen, but I think like a 1 year, 34 million with incentives. Like if you guys, let's say you guys get to the second round, he gets an extra 3 million. Or if you play for all of the games this season, you get an extra 5 million. Maybe if they just incentivize it a lot, or like a 1 year 30 million guaranteed, so he gets 30 M's no matter what, and he gets an incentives, and that gets him to 40. I can see that. Um, but yeah, I definitely agree. I think he's gonna end up back, or I could see him retiring. I think it's one or the other. I don't see him playing for anybody else. I think it's either the Niners or he's going to retire. Um, but yeah, really interesting
Yeah.
situation there. Um, I think that's pretty much it in terms of contracts. Obviously, we know about the Ayuk situation. It's pretty clear they're just going to have to cut him because they don't have anybody. So no one's going to want to trade for him. I see all these posts about, oh, Crosby and a first for Ayuk in a second. It's like, or Ayuk and a first for Crosby in a second. It's like, dude, Ayuk is not worth that. Like, not even remotely close to that. Just based on this guy, we are talking about a guy that went on Instagram Live holding an ice cream cone for 9 minutes and let it melt all over his hand in his nice whip. And that was it. That's
I
all he
did
did.
see that. I did see
He,
that.
he did nothing else, brother. He just sat in the whip like this with an ice cream cone and just let him out. Didn't say a word, nothing. So, obviously he's got some AB-isms going on. So, um, I don't see him being traded or anything. You guys will just cut him, I'm sure. Um, and that brings me to the next thing about your Niners, man. 5 moves that you'd like your Niners to do. Now, it could be you guys trading somebody. It could be you trading for somebody. It could be you cutting somebody. It could be you signing somebody. Just 5 moves that you think the Niners need to make for them to continue being playoff contenders this next season.
Uh,
And also, if you don't have five,
Obviously,
I'll just say if you don't have five, you
um,
don't have to list five. Like if you only got 3 or 4, that's fine.
no, I got five.
Okay.
I I think what I would do is I'll get the offensive lineman from Baltimore Ravens. I think it's the guard from
Yep.
Baltimore. Um,
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's him. I could be
Yep.
mistaken. And then I'd get the center that the Tennessee Titans just released today.
Yeah.
Again, if
I like that.
my whole thing is like you gotta
Trenches.
boost up that offense. You gotta get them trenches because man, we've been sucking. And then, so obviously I got two offensive linemen off rip. Um, and then let's go into running backs. You're gonna be like, why do you want a fucking guy if you already have Isaac Orlando and Christian McCaffrey? Christian McCaffrey's getting old. He can't be taking all those hits and that many carries. So for me, would make more sense. And it's crazy that he's not ranked in the top 10, but for me, a sleeper guy that I would really want the Niners to get, it's either Najee Harris that was playing for the Chargers. I think he kind of fits the Shanahan system. Or you get J.K. Dobbins, one of those guys at running back, just to help that Niner offense. Um, and then let's go fucking wide receiver here. How many moves is that? You said 5 moves?
Yeah, I think you said the trenches. So you said 2 trench moves, and then you said the running
I got
back. So
two.
you got 2 more left, or 3 more left.
Okay. Let's go. All right. Let's go wide receiver here. I think the Niners. Again, I need the Niners to get younger, but losing, because I know the Niners are going to not re-sign Juwan Jennings, so you get somebody that's been there before, and I think you would have to kind of go and get Mike Evans,
I like that.
somebody consistent, that
Yep.
you know that you can trust when you throw the ball to. So I like Mike Evans. That would be my fourth move.
Yep.
Um, And I think you go tight end. I know fucking the Niners won't draft a tight end because they love George Kittle so much. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think George Kittle needs to go already. He just can never stay healthy. Unfortunately, the Falcons used a franchise tag on Kyle Pitts today because that was going to be my fucking number one. Um,
Yeah, you've been asking
so
for him
I
for
would
like four
say you,
months.
yeah, unfortunately, he got franchise tag today. Atlanta
Yeah, it's
Falcons are
tough.
fucking stupid. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I go Isaiah Likely, somebody decent.
Yeah.
And then for my last pick, let's see what else I got here. I got interior. Ah, I think there's this guy. Yo, Trey Henderson. It's my last one. I need him to go get a fucking guy. If it's not Trey Hendrickson, you gotta go fucking Khalil Mack.
Oh, I like that one too.
One of those guys.
I like both those
You
moves.
gotta get somebody, bro. Uh, I just think Khalil Mack is better than Joey Bosa. I think something with the Joey guys, the Bosa boys. They just get hurt, man. I don't know. Khalil
Ah.
Mack is a fucking dog.
I do have a question,
Yeah,
and because I don't know.
those are my moves.
Um,
So,
my question is, Brian Robinson, is he a free agent?
fuck, I forgot about that. No, he's still with us. He's still with us until next year. But I
Okay.
think he could be a third round back.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
But the
say.
same
I feel
thing though,
like
like you can use Najee as a fucking punt returner or
no,
something. You know,
that's what I
I
was
think
gonna
he's
say.
still good.
I do like you guys adding another running back because it just takes a lot of pressure off of McCaffrey, like you know, trotting himself out there when he's hurt. You know, because I'm sure he did that a lot last year. I'm sure like there's probably times where he probably needed a week off. You know, because the leg was bothering him or whatever was bothering him, but he knew he couldn't do that because you guys rely on him too much. So yeah, I really like that. The
Yeah.
receiver move that you made was really interesting because you said younger and then you asked for Mike Evans, but I get what you're getting at. Like, I'm just being a dick about it, but I really like that move. I actually liked all your moves, to be honest. I don't think there was a move there. The edge rusher one is interesting. Because I agree. I think both of those guys are better than Joey Bosa. I think the problem is you just spent a first round pick on a guy, and obviously both of those starters are coming off of pretty significant knee injuries. So one of them, if not both, are probably not going to be ready by week one. So I get why. I'm just a little
So
concerned. Go ahead.
here's the fun. No, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But the thing is about the Michael Williams um thing, like yeah, he was drafted to be an edge rusher, but rumors are he's gonna be moved into the interior line to be an interior defensive lineman, not an end. That's why we need another dude because I think he plays a lot better in the inside than the outside. So we just need that other guy. So
Okay,
that's why I
perfect.
said that.
That's no that kind of took care of everything. Any concern I had that took care of it. So that's why we asked the Niner Insider here. Um, but yeah, I like I said, I think all the moves. I am a little surprised. Like no Crosby. Like you don't want Crosby, or you just don't want to pay that much for him. Not money wise, but like draft pick wise.
I think a little. I think it's yeah, it's a little bit about both. I think teams are gonna one, honestly, I don't bring up Max Crosby just because I think he's gonna stay with the Raiders. I think a lot of the talks of like, hey, kind of hearing out what our teams are willing to give up. And because he came off injury, he's not gonna get that Micah Parsons trade, which I would assume is what he's seeking, and what the Raiders are looking for. And I just don't think they're gonna get that. And if they don't get close to, I would say 80% of what Parsons got, um, for the yeah, then I don't think they trade him. I think they keep him and then they'll trade him the next year. That's what I think will happen. That's the only reason why I didn't bring up Max Crosby. And also, like, I'm not willing to give up 3 first round picks. I mean, we just did that for Trey Lance, and it has haunted us.
Fuck.
So, yeah, no, I'm not willing to do that. Also, another wide receiver is Tyreek Hill. I think, another thing about that is that he goes to the Bills or something like that. I don't think he goes back to KC. And if he did go to KC, I think it's stupid. I think it's one of those things where it was cool when it was there, and then it's just time to let it go.
And he'd be really
But
cool in
yeah,
San. I was to
that's
say
what I
he'd
got.
be Tyree could be really cool in Santa Clara. Um, I just think like if people are wondering why Rigo didn't mention him when he mentioned Mike Evans, I think it has a lot to do with the taxes. For those that don't know, he's got like 10 baby mamas, so if he comes to Cali, he's fucked. So, I don't see him ever playing for a team
Yeah,
in California, like ever. I'd be shocked. The Niners would have to back up the bag for him to even consider it. So I don't see that happening. Um, but yeah, I think that was perfect.
yeah.
I think that's a great blueprint for a lot of people that maybe don't really know the ins and outs of the offseason. That's a perfect way to kind of look at what the Niners need to do. Rigo nailed it. Trenches, I think offense line and defensive line wise. I know
Mhm.
he's mentioned mostly O line guys, but um, yeah, I think that's a great start. Getting somebody reliable for McCaffrey, getting another playmaker that's not old on the outside, adding an edge rusher. I think you can't really go wrong with any of those moves. Um, yeah, great stuff.
All right, appreciate it, man. Let me see what you got for the Raiders, man. Cook up. I need you. I mean, if I'm expecting some crazy moves here. So let's see what you got. What you've been cooking up, big dog.
Yeah. It's not going to be anything too wild. I will get a little hot take to start though. If I'm the Raiders, I'm looking to trade the first overall pick. Um, I know it's not going to happen, but if I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to see who's willing to give up a lot of picks for it. Like, are the Jets or the Cardinals willing to do it? Um, it's not that I don't love Mendoza. I just feel like you can get way more value, like similar to what the Bears did. They traded the first to the Panthers for Bryce Young, and then the next year they ended up getting their guy. Um, so I feel like the Raiders kind of should follow in that blueprint. We have so many holes as a whole, um, that I mean it's kind of like a obvious thing. Like try to get as many players as you can, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Um, and along those same lines, I would say Max Crosby as well. Like, if you could trade Max Crosby and the first overall pick and get 6 first rounders back, I don't know how you don't do that. Um, I'm a big draft guy, built through the draft. So if you can get a ton of swings, and when I say swings, it just means another word for picks. Um, I would do it. Um, Obviously, everyone talks about the O line. I don't think it's as big of a hole as people think. Not a lot of people that follow the Raiders know. We had 2 really big injuries to 2 of our best O linemen. So it's not like we need 5 guys. We really need probably 1 or 2. One being like like a Linderbaum or one of those elite free agents, and then another one being a depth guy that if we do have an injury, it's not the end of the world. The season's not quite over. Um, Man, the third one, do whatever you can to sign Devin Lloyd. He's a linebacker for the Jags. We need a linebacker fucking desperately. We
I
haven't
was
had
gonna
one.
say that.
We haven't had
Yeah,
one, and I would say,
yeah.
fuck. I don't think we've had a linebacker in like 4 years. That's like
Navarro
a
Bowman.
legit. Oh, he was in Oakland. I'm trying to think. Was he? I think he was in 2018, 2019. But yeah, like we need a guy like that. We need a Patrick. We need a fucking legit linebacker. We haven't had one in a really long time. Everyone talks about Devin White. Oh, he was so good. He had 155 tackles or whatever fucking bullshit number it is. He was fucking ass. He didn't follow his keys. He didn't follow his assignment. And if you saw him in pass coverage, you wouldn't want him back. So he's fucking garbage. So hopefully they don't bring him back. So yeah, bring a linebacker, specifically Devin Lloyd. Do whatever you can to try to get him. My fourth move would be sign Eric Stokes back, sign Malcolm Kuntz back, sign Dylan Parham back. There's some free agents that we're going to be having. I think if you just bring those guys back, it doesn't necessarily have to be some big, crazy contract. But just something, 1 or 2 year deals for all those guys, I'd be pretty good with. I think they were solid players for us. And I don't see, they didn't do anything to not bring them back. And then the fifth most important move, have a plan at quarterback. Honestly, and I know Mr. Google's gonna have a shit fit if he watches this. I don't know if he's gonna make it this far into the pod, but it's not, to me, it's not the end of the world if Geno comes back. I know he alienated a lot of the fan base just based on his antics, like flipping the fans off and kind of talking shit about Raider fans in general. But I actually I wouldn't be pissed or mad if he comes back to play QB for us. Or if we had Aiden O'Connell or one of our guys that we have on the roster play QB for us. I don't think it's like that far out of left field. I just want to plan. Like, I'd like to know, like, hey, like, we're gonna ride with the guy. Like, let's say we draft Mendoza, and they're like, hey, we're gonna play Aiden O'Connell for at least 8 weeks or until the bye week, and then we'll let him start. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I just don't want to throw this rookie that we draft, whether it's Mendoza or whoever, into the fire, and then he loses confidence, and then now we have like a year and a half of trying to get him back to where he needs to be. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So trade, get as many assets
Yeah,
as possible.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, trenches,
I like that.
linebacker. Yeah, I mean it's pretty.
Honest,
Um,
honestly, what
good.
uh, honestly, if the Raiders were legitly gonna trade Max Crosby and they were asking for stuff, if I was the Niners, I would trade Mac Jones, a second, a first, so first, second, and Mac Jones, and a fifth for Max Crosby. I would do it. If I was the Raiders, I think that's almost like a no-brainer because I mean, Mac Jones and Clint Kubiak would go hand in hand together as far as Kubiak is gonna operate. So I just think it'd be a no-brainer then if the Raiders are gonna get a QB instead of fucking doing something crazy in the draft with Mendoza. But yeah, I mean, I just think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean man, I think in that scenario, I think we'd have to get two firsts. Like, I think two firsts is like the bottom. Like, there's no way. Like, especially with the team that picks in the 20s, like, there's no way we're taking anything less than two firsts. I would do like two firsts, Mac Jones, and we'll give you Crosby and like a second round pick this year. So like technically you'll still have a first rounder.
Yeah,
I know it's like a couple picks later than the end of the first round, but at least you guys have like, you're getting a pick back. And then you're getting a guy that should have won Defensive Player of the Year twice. And yeah, I mean that's not bad. Like it really just depends what the plan is like, and I think for the Raiders we'll kind of know early on. And the reason, like, I guess my whole
yeah,
thing about trading Crosby and Mendoza is I want, like, as a Raider, I better not say as a Raider fan because everyone's gonna be like, no. As a Herno Raider fan, I want to like completely rebuild. Like, I don't want to do like the Gruden where we traded like a couple guys that were gonna be wanting contracts. Like, I want to fucking blow it all up. Like, let's trade all the assets we have. And if that means we're shit for the next year or two, fine. But if that means like we're shit for the next 2 years, and then after that, 10 years of success, playoffs or whatever, I'm fucking here for it. I really don't want to do another 1 year
yeah,
wonder where we're like, oh, we're a playoff team in 2027. and then we never sniff again for 10 years. Like I'm tired of doing that. So, um, yeah, I feel like whoever gives you the most, that's where he should go. Just don't trade him in the division. That's like my only ask. Like, don't trade him to the fucking Chiefs. I'd really hate to see him twice a year. So Niners would be cool. I really think that'd be a
Yeah,
great fit for him. I just don't know, like, financially, if you guys would be willing to do that, because that's a lot of money for, yeah, it's a lot of money for all your guys.
trust
So
me, I know.
yeah, that'd be pretty tough.
Yeah, but
Um, yeah.
yeah, man, I like your picks. Um, I mean the pod. If you do, you have any last minutes before we get off here? Any last
Uh,
minute things you want to get on say before we leave?
no, man, just I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to get this thing rolling, man. Like, it's always a fucking good time. Chopping up with my guy way up there with the Eskimos. So
Hey, man.
yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm just glad you made it back safe and got to hear what you how Vegas went and everything like that. Again, guys, we're trying to stay consistent. Things just keep popping up, and unfortunately, we cannot avoid those things sometimes. But like Kern said, we're gonna try to do it earlier in the week where we can just knock it out and not have to worry about it later. So
Yeah.
we'll see. See you next week. Hopefully, we can knock one out earlier. And again, it's gonna be a lot of like Kern said, we're gonna probably pick a division and we're gonna rank these before the draft and obviously the combine. A lot of talk about that. Players that we like,
Yeah.
players that our teams would hopefully go get. But again, it's gonna be a lot of combine stuff next week. And
Yep.
if anybody ever has comments or concerns or whatever, just have something to say. Y'all know it. Hit us on our social medias. Hearn's doing great on our TikTok and fucking clips. And Hearn has a special clip that he's gonna drop in the intro
Oh
of the next
yeah,
episode or this
yeah,
episode, sorry.
yeah,
So stay tuned for that, guys. It's gonna be everywhere. Just stay tuned. Again,
yeah.
like always, Hearn, I appreciate you doing the pod with me today, taking the time out of your busy schedule. Nothing but love, brother. And
Yes, sir.
again, thank you to everybody that watches and takes the time to listen to us. But no further ado. It's your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, my co-host, Mr. Hernia, the Iceman, signing off, baby.